So in last lecture, we started with the second chapter, that is astronomical instruments. In that we have seen the different types of astronomical instruments which are being used since long time to observe the space and the celestial objects and their patterns. Now we also defined telescopes and we saw that telescope is an instrument that detects electromagnetic radiation. Now depending upon which electromagnetic radiation is being detected by that telescope, there are different types of telescopes. Now we also saw that on the surface of earth, okay, on surface of earth we have only two types of telescopes, that is optical telescope and radio telescope. What is the reason for that is we know that Earth's surface is transparent to only two types of frequencies or the radiations, okay, that is optical frequency and the radio frequency. That is why on the surface of Earth there are only two types of telescope, that is optical telescope and radio telescope. Today we are going to see about the or today we are going to learn about the optical telescopes and its different types. Now, optical telescopes mainly consist of two parts, that is the optics and the mounting. Optical telescope consists of two parts, that is optics and mounting. Now, what is optics? Optics is the optical instruments which are used to make that optical telescope. Okay, the instruments, the optical instruments which are used to make the telescope are basically the objective and an eyepiece. Okay, now depending upon the different types of objectives which are used to make these optical telescopes, there are different types of optical telescopes. Now second thing which is important for the optical telescope is a mounting, that we will see later, okay, in the later lectures. But what is mounting? Mounting is what the telescope we are using for the observational purpose. Okay, by using these optical telescopes we are going to observe the observe in the space the celestial objects in the space. So it is very necessary to arrange those telescopes in a particular direction, okay, to detect accurately the objects which we are going to study or which we are interested to study in. Okay, so that is why mounting of telescope is again a very important thing to be noted. Now today we'll see the optics, and depending upon different types of optics, how there are different types of optical telescopes. Now in optics there are two major parts, that is objective of an telescope and eyepiece of an telescope. Now what is an objective? Objective is a part of telescope that gathers the light. Okay, so objective is what? It is a part of telescope that gathers the light. So it is obvious that objective will always be facing towards the object that we are going to detect, or it will be closer to the object that we are going to detect. Now depending again as I said earlier, it determines the type of telescope. Okay, depending upon different types of objective there are different types of optical telescopes. Now what is eyepiece? Eyepiece is a magnifier of a small focal length and small diameter d. Okay, eyepiece is towards the observer. Okay, through the eyepiece an observer is able to observe those objects which are very far away from us. So we have seen that in optics there are two main instruments, optical instruments, which makes a telescope, that is an objective and an eyepiece. Now depending upon the different types of objectives, there are two types of telescope. One is refracting telescope and second one is reflecting telescope. Now these names are very much self-explanatory, the refracting telescope and reflecting telescope. So which phenomenon is going to happen with the light rays that are entering these optical telescopes, we can tell only by looking at these names. So first we'll see the refracting telescopes. So what is a refracting telescope? When an light is going to enter through the objective of that telescope, that light will undergo a refraction. Okay, so the objective of a refracting telescope is usually a lens okay, which is a convex lens, or a glass which is having a particular focal length. Okay, that focal length has to be huge, and the diameter of lens has to be used, because the uh, size of the image of that object that this telescope is going to make depends upon the diameter of the objective, because the amount of light which is collected from the source is proportional to the area of the aperture, that is pi d square by 4, where d is the diameter of the aperture of telescope. So that is why it is very necessary that if the objective of this refracting telescope is huge, then the size of the image which is going to form of the celestial objects is going to be of a proper size, which we can observe, okay, through the eyepiece. Now, therefore, the larger lenses are required to create the good quality images by using this refracting telescope. Now, we will see the basic concept of refracting telescope through this animation. In this animation, we can see two lenses. One is O is objective, E is the eyepiece. Okay, since this is the image, the blue tick or the blue arrow that we are seeing on this screen is the object that we are observing. Now, the light rays coming from that object will be first incident on the objective. From that, light will undergo refraction. Again, from that, it will be incident on the eyepiece, and image will be formed at a focus of these two lenses. Okay. So this is the basic principle of the refracting telescope. Okay, it is very simple. Only two optics or the two optical instruments are used. So two lenses are used. One is of a different diameter and focal length. Eyepiece is of a different diameter and focal length. Okay, and the light rays which are coming through the of coming from the objects, distant object, they are undergoing refraction as they pass through the lenses. So this is the basic concept of refracting telescope. Now we will see the second type of telescope, that is a reflecting telescope. Now we will see the second type of optical telescope, that is reflecting telescope. As the name suggests, the reflecting telescope uses reflecting property of a light. Okay. Reflecting telescope uses reflecting property of light with the help of mirror. Okay, so the objective in the reflecting telescope gets replaced by a mirror. So in a refracting telescope, we are using a lens of a particular focal length and a diameter. Instead of that, in the reflecting telescope, we are using a mirror. Okay, so as the mirror acts as a light collecting surface, and it is coated with a layer of aluminum. Okay, so from the form of mirror is usually a parabolic, which reflects all the light rays which are entering the telescope parallel to the main axis into a common focal point. Now, the image formed due to this reflection of the light is observed with the help of an eyepiece, or is registered on a photographic plate. Okay. Now, in case of reflection of light, we do not encounter the problem of aberrations, and we also can put an external support from the back side to the mirror. So, it is possible to increase the size of the telescope very easily in case of reflecting telescope, which is very difficult, okay, in case of the refracting telescopes. Now, first we'll see the basic concept or the basic idea behind the reflecting telescope and how it works through this animation or GIF. So in such that like the blue arrow that you can see on the screen is the object which is to be observed by using the telescope, reflecting telescope. On the right hand side, there is a parabolic mirror that can be seen. It is supported from the back side, and it is a parabolic in shape, and the inner surface of this mirror is coated with an aluminum to increase its reflectivity. So as the light is incident on this mirror from the object that is to be observed, it gets reflected, okay, and it is collected at a common focal point F. Okay, and then an observer can observe this image formed by the reflecting telescope by use of an eyepiece, which is having a particular focal length and a diameter d. So this is the basic thing or a principle of a working of a reflecting telescope. Now, a reflecting telescope is much more useful or a beneficial, or it is having a very less limitations than the refracting telescope which is used. Okay, so the one problem or the one limitation we have noted down here, that in case of reflection of light we do not encounter the problem of aberration. Now what is aberration we'll see in a very short. And we can also put an external support from the back side of mirror, so it is possible to increase the size of the telescope. Why it is important to increase the size of the telescope? Because in the last session we have seen, for the refracting telescope, when we were seeing, we know that the amount of light which is collected from the source is proportional to the area of the aperture. Okay, and it is it affects the clearness and the size of the image which is getting formed due to these telescopes. That is why size of this objective is very important, and it is it can be easily increased in case of reflecting telescope than the refracting telescope. So majority of the telescopes which are used are the reflecting ones. Okay, there are some modifications done into those to make the observation through those telescope easy, and those different types of so depending upon those modifications which are being done, there are different types of reflecting telescopes as well. That while comparing the two types of optical telescopes that we have studied, that is refracting telescope and reflecting telescope, we came towards one word, that is a chromatic aberration, which is a problem which occurs while using a refracting telescope. So in short, we'll see what is a chromatic aberration. It is a very simple topic which you have studied in your lower classes, but this is like bit like a revision for you people. So what is chromatic aberration is, the rays of light have of a different wavelength. Okay, they have a different velocities in a refracting medium. Now chromatic aberration will happen for the light which is not monochromatic. Getting it? What is monochromatic? Monochromatic light is having a single wavelength. Chromatic light is like white light, when we are talking about, it is called as a chromatic light, which is having the 7 different colors and 7 different wavelengths, okay, of those colors. Now the rays of light of different wavelength, they have different uh, velocities in a medium. Okay, so different color will have a different velocity in a medium. So when we are finding out, or we are talking about the refractive indices of a particular medium, okay, the instrument or the objective which is used in a refracting telescope is a lens. Okay, that lens is made up of a glass. Obviously glass has a certain refractive index, and the refractive index of that medium depends or is given by this formula, which is C by V, where C is the velocity of that electromagnetic radiation in a vacuum, and V is the velocity of that radiation in a medium, that is the medium that we are going to use. So therefore the medium through which light is going to pass has a different refractive indices for each color. Okay, so in a visible region of electromagnetic spectrum, the refractive index is lowest for red and it is highest for violet color. Therefore the velocity of red color is largest and velocity of the violet color is slowest, okay, in a particular medium with having a certain refractive index. Now the focal length of the lens that we use, it depends upon the refractive index by this formula, which is 1 by f is equals to mu minus 1 upon r1 minus 1 upon r2. So therefore the focal length of red color is largest and violet color is the smallest. Okay, why focal length is important? Because the image which is going to form of an object which is going to form when the light is passing through that lens, it will be formed at the focal length of that lens. Since all the parameters like refractive index is different, so velocity is different, so depending upon that the focal length of lens is also different for the different colors. So it happens to find out that the focal length for the red color is large and for the violet color it is the smallest. Okay, so when the light white light is used through a single lens, when a white light is passing through a single lens, the lens will not produce only one image of an object, but it will produce one image for each color or each wavelength at a different positions and of a different sizes. Getting it? So this problem is called as a chromatic aberration. What is happening? Due to different properties or due to different refractive indices of a medium for a different colors or a different wavelengths, okay, the focal length of the lens is different for the different colors. So the image, what happens is when the white light is passing through that lens, it does not create a single image of that object, but it creates one image for each wavelength. So which is again which is at a different position, and it is having different sizes. So we will see this through this diagram, try to understand through this diagram. This is the lens or the objective which is used, and AB is an object which is whose image is going to form at a focal length f of that lens. Okay. So due to difference in the velocities of the different lights, that is red light and the violet light, there are two different images are getting formed at a two different positions. Okay. That is at A prime B prime will be the image of the object getting formed due to refraction of the red light, and A double prime B double prime is the image of the object which is getting formed due to refraction of the violet light. Now all other colors which are in between from into the 7 colors, okay, the Vibgyor. So all other colors, the image due to those colors will be formed in between these two lines, that is A prime B prime and A double prime B double prime. So what is happening is not a sharp image, we are not getting a sharp image of the object which we are observing, okay, through this lens. So this is a very huge problem of using refracting telescopes, okay, because due to this chromatic aberration, the image quality gets very much hampered. Okay, that is why the reflecting telescopes are the one which are used or which are most widely used optical telescopes on the surface of Earth. Thank you.